You are not going to believe what animals you can find washing up on the beach, starting with the jellyfish. Now, I would recommend never touching a jellyfish on the beach unless you're a jellyfish expert like me. Next are shrimp, like Monica here. Monica's a Eupogibia mud shrimp, and she's infested with an invasive blood-sucking isopod parasite. Well, today, we're going to be opening Monica's gill flap and very carefully removing the invasive isopod. This thing's preventing her from having babies. Not today, parasite. Another really cool and really large crustacean you can find on the beach are Dungeness and red rock crabs. Now, you gotta be really careful with these guys because they have really sharp feet and really powerful claws. Alright, now here's an animal that's really cool and really safe to touch. These are starfish, and sometimes they get washed up during high tide and left out in the sun to dry up. So if you see a starfish laying around, especially if he's upside down on his back, go ahead and pick him up and bring him back to the water. And here's another interesting creature you can find. If you think this one looks like SpongeBob, well, you got that right. This is SpongeBob, and you can't have SpongeBob without Squidward. And that's what this is. This is a squid's egg sac, and you find these washed up all over in summertime. And in the same areas that you find SpongeBob and Squidward, you can also find a big cluster of gooseneck barnacles. These guys are crustaceans like crabs and shrimp, and they wash up all the time. Okay, you know they say the freaks come out at night? Well, it's true, especially on the beach. That's whenever you find these huge marine isopods. These guys live in caves and all over the kelp at nighttime. And here's another intertidal creature that oftentimes washes up in huge, heavy clusters. These little mollusks are related to octopuses and clams, and these guys are called mussels. And if I had to guess why they're called mussels, it's probably because they're so heavy, it requires a lot of muscles to pick them up and bring them back to the ocean. And here's one of my favorite animals to find on the beach. And when you find them, you gotta approach them really slow because they have really good vision and they're really good at escaping. This guy is called a hermit crab. And I finally got him here. Watch him come out of his shell. It's kind of weird, kind of creepy, like a spider, but trust me, guys, when I tell you that you're gonna love holding these hermit crabs because they're so cool. And if you hold their shell above the water, they'll jump out of their shell, so make sure to just hold them flat in your hand and don't hold them by their shell. Next up is the green sea anemone. These guys are really satisfying to touch, just don't touch the hole in the middle. Huh, and check this out. Right next to that sea anemone, we found a huge kelp crab. There's so many animals that live in tide pools, you're never just gonna find one, so always keep your eyes peeled. And finally, sometimes you might end up finding things on the beach that really are not supposed to be there, like fish, for example. This guy beached himself. I have no idea why, he just decided to swim out of the tide pool he was in, so I picked him up and I started to put him back in the water, and that's whenever he swam back out of the tide pool and beached himself again. I don't know what this guy was trying to do, but I had to save his life, so I poked him back in the water. And follow for more ocean videos.